So we are going to be looking at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are on episode 29. In the last episode, we saw great tensions building inside of Europe and all around the world. If you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get into episode 29, the episode before the War of Colonialism. So in case you don't know, World War III is coming. World War I is coming. World War I is going to be fought between the stars, the parallelograms, and the squares. The stars want to colonize more land. The parallelograms want to stop colonialism because they can't have it for themselves. While the squares are just the peaceful little squares in Africa. But before we talk about this, I need to introduce the new layers that we have. So, a work in progress is the province. I've done more work on it. It takes a long time, and you'll see why in a second. Then I also added major military bases. These aren't super major at the moment, and I'm not finished with it yet. They're going to be more important in the future. Alright, and now let's look at the military rankings layer. Number 1, we have the Dutch. Number 2, Russia. Nothing's changed. Number 3, Indonesia. 4th is Iraq. And 5 is Norway. Nothing's changed so far. 6th is the gray Asian country. 7th is Vietnam. The northern Italian country, which is going to be just Italy soon, is 8th. The Central Asian Union is 9th. And number 10 is the fascist Greek country. So these rankings have changed a little bit, mainly 6 through 10, quite a bit. But let's look at a different layer now. Let's look at the economy layer. Now, this isn't finished. It kind of is. I wasn't sure how I was supposed to do this. I mainly took inspiration off Wikipedia, so do what you will from that. But the number 1 economy in the world is Indonesia with this number. I'm not going to say it because, yeah. Second is the brown team with around 500 million, I think. I think that's what that number is. Third is actually Wales with 476 million. 4th is India with 300 million. 5th is the Great Asian, and this is a big jump down, 300 million to 107 million. We then have the Central Asian Union with 100 million. We then have Korea. Then we have the Italian country, the red team, and then, fractured China. These will change over time. Don't expect Indonesia to be one forever. It very well could be. And now, let's go to the population layer. The 10th population in the world is the Great Asian country with 12 million. We then have Iraq with 13 million. Then Russia with about 13,665,000 people. 7th is Vietnam with 15 million. 6th is the Dutch with 15,400,000. Then we have the African country with 17 million and 50. We then have Italy with 18 million. This is mainly from the red team's old population. Third is actually the Central Asian Union, because all the countries that united had a pretty dang big population even before they united. We then go down to India with 25 million. And then Indonesia caps it off again at first place with 27 million. So those are the new layers. Let me know if you guys like them, and I'll add more layers as it goes on. But let's do our daily Sri Lanka update. In Sri Lanka, we have this orange country breaking into 2. This rebellion breaks out pretty quickly, and it also, it's split down the middle of the capital. This rebellion is going to quickly take over the orange one, and the strongest country on Sri Lanka is now gone. And we now see an alliance breaking up inside of Asia. There are 2 alliances. There are the 3-point star alliance, and there are the pentagons. And the alliance that will be breaking up is the pentagons, because Vietnam is getting jealous about how powerful the great country is being. So, the great country will leave. This then leads to Vietnam leaving. We then just have these two who also decide to leave but hold close relations. And that, well, didn't last very long with that alliance. There are now tensions building between the Grey and Vietnam, and we'll see where that goes in the future. Over in Australia, we see Indonesia discover the whole thing. They've been going to town on discovering this, and it's now fully discovered. But over here in Central Asia, we're going to be talking mainly about the Central Asian Union. These guys have just signed some documents for a new country to join this alliance, this union. And this will benefit these guys so much. So much, in fact, that they are going to be moving, well, they're going to have 2 capitals now. This guy, the, pinkish southern Iran country, joins in on this alliance. And I've changed my mind last minute. They're not going to be keeping their capital here. And these guys have just expanded greatly. But these guys are also not going to be keeping their capital here. They are going to be moving it. These guys are going to move their capital down here. And now they have moved their capital. And they are now one of the biggest countries in the world, I think. But with that, we see these guys losing a member of their alliance. And it was probably the strongest member of their alliance. Now the strongest is going to go to this country right here. And now India looks like they're getting pretty hungry for some land. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over to Europe as we see, well, the building up of World War I. We see a pretty much gigantic just teaming on this island country out here. We see the Italians make a landing up over here, taking over this major city, and quickly taking over Corsica, I'm pretty sure. And we also see the African team make a landing up over here and take over Sardinia. And we see them take over these islands over here. This peace treaty is pretty simple. Pretty much, they just get what they took over of this island land. And this is going to make the Italian team very angry. They wanted both of these islands because the red team used to own both of these islands. And they want to reinstall the red team's influence, but with their country. Not much colonialism has been happening, colonization has been happening, because people have been building up their militaries and getting ready for a war. But some areas inside of these countries are beginning to get a little unstable because they are kind of not in favor of a war. Mainly, quite a few areas inside of Russia are starting to become unstable. Over here in the Baltic region, like Central Europe, Ukraine area, and also this whole back half over here is becoming pretty unstable. This back area, they're going to assimilate it pretty dang well, and they're now fully on board with military, with war. But these areas over here are a little bit more stubborn, and they don't really want war yet. Same thing with Denmark in this section over here. They don't really want war, but Norway is going to assimilate it quite well, and they're on, well, I don't know about favor of war, but they'll do it. Even some areas of the Dutch team who aren't in favor of war kind of don't want to do this anymore. But come on, we're persisting. Let's just continue on with it. Come on. Over here we see Wales fully make their little puppet state into a part of their country. That puppet state was kind of draining their money, so it's now just a part of the country, and now they have to pay more money to Wales. But we do have some more people joining up with the stars and the parallelograms. We have the Purple French joining up on the Parallelogram Alliance to stop colonialism. It's not like they can't colonize, it's more that they don't agree with colonialism. But with that, we have the French team, well, this original French team joining in. Oh crap. Like I was saying, we have the original French team joining in on the Star Alliance because they want to retake all of their old land. But with that happening, we have the Star team go into war mode. They start putting troops on the borders of the countries that are in their alliance. And we see the Blue Iberians invade into a country. They, for the third time in history, they take the capital of the Magenta team and take the country. That Magenta country wasn't in any alliance, so that was very unfortunate of them. Still, the countries around are still not going to join the Parallelogram Alliance for some reason. These three on the border are in the alliance, but none of the other ones are going to join. And now we have the official start of World War I. The brown team goes ahead and gives the green light for the Italian team to send troops into Sardinia, I think. And the blue team starts invading into the African country from Morocco. And the reason they're doing this is so they can colonize Africa. They tried colonizing Africa a long time ago, and it didn't work. So they're not going to try that peace route again. They're going to take it by force. They then send dozens of troops down into the pink Italian country, almost wiping it out actually. While the brown team and Norway begin invading into the Polish part of Russia to go and take land. We see both of these guys get pretty far into the territory. Norway's mainly focusing on the shores of Russia. But we see Russia absolutely destroy Finnish armies as they go up into the country. And that is going to do it for this episode. The start of World War I will be in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. And today's daily shoutout is going to be going to Unknown Rapper 999 U6C. I have not watched much of your content, but hopefully it is good. If you guys enjoyed my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in World War I. Goodbye.